If you've been scrolling through endless rows of outdoor speaker options, weighing glossy ads against a handful of vague specs, and still feel stuck about which pair actually earns its price tag, you're not alone. I've been in the same spot trying to picture a speaker that can survive a summer rainstorm, blend into a backyard aesthetic, and actually sound good when the grill is on and the kids are running around. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this review, I'll break down why the Bowers & Wilkins AM1 might be the sweet spot for some patios and why it could be a miss for others, so you can walk away with a clear answer instead of another maybe. First, let's talk about the environment these speakers are built for. The AM1 is marketed as a weather-resistant solution for patios, gardens, and even poolside setups. That claim isn't just marketing fluff. The enclosure is coated to repel rust and the dome tweeter is sealed behind a Nautilus tube aluminum shell that, according to the manufacturer, keeps moisture out while preserving high-frequency detail. In practice, that means you can leave them mounted on a wall or under an eave and not worry about a sudden thunderstorm turning them into a soggy mess. I've seen a lot of outdoor speakers that either crack after a few seasons or start sounding muffled because water seeps into the cone. The AM1's Glassfibre mid-range cone and auxiliary base radiator are also designed to handle temperature swings, so you won't notice a sudden loss of punch when the sun goes down and the air cools. Now, the real question for most buyers is, does the sound justify the premium Bowers & Wilkins name? In a typical backyard dinner party, you want the music to be audible over chatter and a grill's hiss, but you also don't want it to blast so loudly that it disturbs the neighbor 2 houses down. With the 5-inch Glassfibre cone driving the mid-range and a dedicated base radiator, the AM1 delivers a balanced soundstage that fills a modest patio without being overbearing. The 1-inch aluminum dome tweeter adds crisp highs, so you can hear the sparkle in a pop track or the articulation of an acoustic guitar even at lower volumes. I tested them with playlists ranging from jazz standards to bass-heavy electronic mixes, and the speakers kept the bass tight enough for a low-key dance vibe while preserving vocal clarity. The sweet spot isn't huge, but that's typical for speakers of this size. Step a few feet off axis and you'll notice a slight dip in the highs, which is something to keep in mind if you plan to position seating all around the speaker. Installation is another practical angle that often trips people up. Bowers & Wilkins includes a cast aluminum wall bracket that bolts directly onto a solid surface, and the wiring is straightforward. Just run a standard outdoor-rated speaker cable to the bracket and snap the speaker in place. There's no need for a separate mounting plate or complicated clamps, which saves you a few minutes of DIY frustration. The downside here is that the bracket is designed for wall mounting, so if you wanted a freestanding setup on a patio railing you'd have to improvise or buy an additional mounting kit. For most homeowners who can run a cable from a weatherproof amp or a receiver placed in a garage or covered patio nook, the process is painless. For renters or people who can't drill into walls, the AM1 might feel a bit restrictive. Let's dig into who actually benefits from this package. If you're a homeowner with a semi-permanent outdoor space, think a covered deck, a garden wall, or a poolside lounge where you can mount a bracket and run a cable. Once these speakers are a solid match. Their weatherproofing means you won't need to take them down each winter, and the sound quality is a step up from the generic budget garden speakers you find in big box stores. Music lovers who appreciate Bowers & Wilkins' reputation for detail will notice that the treble isn't harsh even when the volume is cranked for a weekend barbecue. Also, if you already have a multi-room audio system and want to extend it outdoors, the AM1's wiring can integrate cleanly with an existing amp, keeping your whole house audio ecosystem consistent. On the flip side, the AM1 isn't the best fit for a few scenarios. First, if you're looking for a truly portable solution like a speaker you can pop on a patio table and move around, the wall mount design makes that inconvenient. Second, people who crave deep, cinematic bass for outdoor movie nights will find the auxiliary base radiator competent but not earth-shattering. It's great for music but won't replace a dedicated subwoofer. Third, budget-conscious shoppers should compare the AM1 to other outdoor speakers in the $150 to $200 range that might offer similar volume levels with a simpler design. You're paying a premium for the Bowers & Wilkins brand and the refined high-frequency performance, not just raw power. Lastly, if your outdoor area is heavily shaded and you rely on solar power for your audio gear, you'll need